Video number 15. Imagine a scenario in which I let you know that the ability to leave is a definitive mystery to fascination. In the present video we're plunging into a unique that many neglect, the certain attraction of self-esteem. Assuming you've at any point felt like you're pursuing somebody who's pulling ceaselessly, or on the other hand assuming you've been stuck asking why she's horrible premium. The response could shock you. The issue isn't about her, it's about how you're appearing in the relationship. When you center a lot around prevailing upon somebody, you can fail to focus on your worth. The uplifting news: figuring out how to leave, to stand firm in your limits, switches things around altogether. It's not alluring, it's strong. How about we break down how this attitude shift functions and why it's a game changer for building further more significant associations. Keep close by, you won't have any desire to miss this. She needs what she can't have. Here's a reality that is in many cases disregarded, yet something can totally impact the manner in which you approach connections. Individuals will quite often esteem what feels scant or barely unattainable. Consider it when something is generally free, in every case simple to get. We frequently underestimate it's the uncommon, the exceptional, and the brief minutes that make us pause and focus. A similar applies to how somebody sees you in a relationship. When you decide to leave, you're not actually venturing back, you're communicating something specific, that your time, your energy, and your presence aren't uninhibitedly given to anybody who requests it. You're showing that you regard yourself enough to define limits, and that your consideration is something to be procured, not distributed. And trust me, this sh in context is strong. It makes individuals pay heed in light of the fact that unexpectedly you're not a steady in their life, you're a variable they need to work for. Marcus Aurelius once said, the more we esteem ourselves, the less we want the endorsement of others. Leaving isn't tied in with messing around or maneuvering somebody toward enjoying you, it's tied in with understanding your value and exhibiting that you won't agree to short of what you merit. When you live by this guideline, you normally ooze certainty and dignity, characteristics that others are attracted to. Envision this situation: you've been messaging to and fro with somebody you're keen on, yet when they begin to pull back or underestimate you, as opposed to pursuing them or attempting to prevail upon them, you choose to step away, not bitterly, not in a spirit of meanness, but since on the grounds that you comprehend your worth. You're occupied with building your own life, seeking after your objectives and zeroing in on what fulfills you. This tranquil certainty sends a stronger message than any words could. It tells her that you're secure regardless of her consideration. When you embrace this attitude, you're not making her pursue you, you're making a dynamic where the relationship becomes better and more adjusted. She is done underestimating you, since you've shown that you won't stay close by for anything short of common regard and exertion, and that, my companion, is where the genuine enchantment happens. There's actually no need to focus on control, it's about self-esteem and understanding that shortage, when utilized carefully, can be one of the most alluring characteristics of all. So recall this: leaving doesn't mean you're surrendering, it implies you're giving yourself the opportunity to be esteemed, the manner in which you merit, and in doing so you motivate others to see your value. To number 2, control your feelings, control the result. Picture this: you're in a conflict, feelings are running high, and the compulsion to make your statement or look for approval feels overpowering. The vast majority would yield to the second, responding rashly, sticking to the need to win or to be seen, yet not you, rather you resist the urge to panic. Grounded and made, this is the force of profound control, and let me let you know it's unimaginably attractive when you exhibit the solidarity to leave, not bitterly or disappointment, but rather from a position of confidence. It sends a strong message. It tells her that you esteem herself enough not to ask for her consideration or endorsement. While others could lose themselves in the confusion of profound struggle, you stand separated on the grounds that you're moored in something more profound, your own feeling of worth. That is the sort of energy that is difficult to disregard, and yes, the sort of energy moves individuals back to you. The Stoics comprehended this well. Seneca said, he who is bold is free. Figure about that briefly. The dauntlessness to leave comes from dominating your feelings, from realizing that your worth isn't attached to another person's acknowledgement. You're free on the grounds that you don't depend on outside approval to characterize your value. That is opportunity, and it's perhaps of the most alluring quality you can have. Envision a lady testing your limits. Perhaps she pulls away or becomes far off to perceive how you'll respond. A man who hasn't created profound control could frenzy pursue her or attempt to persuade her to remain, yet the one who comprehends his own worth adopts an alternate strategy. He allows her space to exist. He doesn't respond hastily or attempt to fill the quietness with consolations. Rather, he leaves, not as a discipline but rather as an exhibition of his Solidarity and self-confidence. When she sees that you can step back without harshness, she starts to rethink your value. She feels your energy shift from reliance to autonomy, and that shift sparkles interest and in the end the craving to pursue. So the following time you're confronted with a snapshot of pressure or vulnerability, recollect this: your serenity is your superpower. Your capacity to leave established in how you might interpret self-esteem isn't a demonstration of mental fortitude, it's a demonstration of opportunity. It's undeniably true that you're in charge not of her activities but rather of your own feelings, and that my companion is compelling. Now I need to hear from you. How would you handle snapshots of strain or vulnerability in your connections? Do you find it trying to step back and remain grounded? Or have you encountered the attractive draw of profound control firsthand? Share your contemplations in quite a while underneath. I'd very much want to hear your viewpoint. Or on the other hand, on the off chance that you're lacking in words, essentially type: smoothness is my superpower to tell me you're embracing this attitude. Number 3. Spotlight on your own life first. For what reason does the ability to leave make her pursue you? How about we stall down together on the grounds that it's quite possibly of the most misjudged at this point successful unique in connections. When you leave, you're not making distance, you're sending an unmistakable implicit message: I have a day-to-day existence past you. That assertion conveys massive weight since it's established in certainty, self-confidence, and a feeling of direction. These are characteristics that normally draw others toward you. Envision this: you meet somebody who's completely consumed by hanging tight for you to message or call. They're consistently accessible, continuously focusing on you. And after some time that consideration begins to feel unsurprising, perhaps choking out. Now think about somebody different, somebody who's profoundly enthusiastic about their own objectives and determinedly chasing after their fantasies. This individual doesn't trust that life will happen. They're out there getting it going. Who might you find seriously charming? The response is clear. Marcus Aurelius frequently stressed the significance of zeroing in on what you have some control over and relinquishing what you can't: your time, your energy, your interests. These are inside your control. A lady's response to you that is not when you focus on yourself. You're exemplifying this ageless insight. You're not overlooking her, you're basically not pivoting your whole presence on her approval. That degree of profound autonomy is attractive. When she sees that you're somebody who can flourish regardless of her, it flips a mental switch. She starts to think about what makes him so certain. What am I missing by not being a major part of his life? Think: a submerged in his about a man's profession, his wellness process, or an inventive enthusiasm like composition or music. He's not sitting around idly for message or overthinking each cooperation, rather he's emptying his energy into building something significant. This man is normally more enthusiastically to reach since he's truly bustling. His time becomes important and his presence feels procured and not offered openly. Ladies are attracted to that sort of energy since it has a good sense of reassurance, rousing and, surprisingly, a little strange. Leaving works since it conveys strength. There's really no need to focus on dismissing her. It's tied in with picking yourself first, and when you do, she sees the worth in you. A man who will leave is a man who won't be quickly controlled or controlled. He's grounded, certain, and unshaken by outside endorsement. That is power. So assuming that you're in a circumstance where you want to grip, pause and ask yourself: am I carrying on of dread of losing her, or out of trust in my own value? Recollect, you are the developer of your own reality. Let her decide to be a piece of it, not the focal point of it. When you live with that attitude, you're done pursuing, you're drawing in, and that is the point at which the unique changes altogether. Number 4. Certainty expresses stronger than words. Certainty isn't tied in with yelling from the roofs or attempting to dazzle everybody around you. It's not necessary to focus on continually. Let individuals know how extraordinary you are or the amount you offer that might be of some value. Genuine certainty, the sort that leaves an effect and changes how individuals see you, comes from what you don't, what you say. When you have the solidarity to leave, you're saying something so strong it doesn't require words. You're saying: I know who I'm, I understand what I merit, and I won't make do with less. That energy is attractive. The sort of certainty attracts individuals not on the grounds that you're pursuing them, but since you've shown you don't have to consider it. When you leave, you're not abandoning what is going on or individual, you're picking yourself. You're placing your self-esteem above transitory solace, momentary approval, or the apprehension about being distant from everyone else. That choice emanates strength, and it's the sort of solidarity that others notice. Individuals would be able